The dark and golden secret of the world's richest countries. From 1990 all the way to today, we've been told that America is the economic superpower of the world. We have Wall Street, Silicon Valley, and the mighty US dollar. But if you look at GDP per capita, which measures the actual wealth per person, the United States isn't even in the top 5. In fact, we're consistently beaten by countries so small, you'd have to zoom in on Google Maps just to find them. Watch this racing bar chart closely. Look at the names floating at the very top. Monaco, Luxembourg, Qatar. How do these tiny nations generate more wealth per person than the ultimate superpower? What is the secret recipe behind their insane wealth? Well, today we are pulling back the curtain on the dark and golden strategies of the world's richest microstates.
Let's start with this country that's been dominating the #1 spot since the 90s, Monaco. This place is so tiny, you can literally walk across the entire country in about an hour. Yet, its streets are lined with Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and mega yachts. 1 out of every 3 people living here is a millionaire. So how did they do it? It all dates back to 1869. Prince Charles III realized his country was going broke. So, he made a radical move. He completely abolished income tax for his residents and opened the legendary Monte Carlo casino. The result? Billionaires, celebrities, and hedge fund managers from all over the globe rushed to buy property there just to shield their wealth from foreign tax collectors. Today, Monaco has zero poverty simply because you need millions just to step foot on its soil. Now keep your eyes on the chart as we hit the late 90s and 2000s and look at the explosive rise of Qatar. Less than a century ago, Qatar was just a poor desert nation. Their entire economy relied on diving into the ocean to harvest pearls. But in the late 20th century, everything changed. They discovered the world's largest single natural gas field. Instead of just focusing on oil, Qatar doubled down on liquefied natural gas, LNG. Because their population is so tiny compared to the massive ocean of money they brought in, the government started showering its citizens with perks. In Qatar, citizens get free healthcare, free electricity, free tuition, and high-paying jobs with absolutely zero income tax. It's the ultimate story of turning desert sand into literal gold. But perhaps the most dramatic jump on this chart belongs to Ireland. In the 1990s, Ireland was lagging way behind, but by the 2010s it shot up like a rocket, leaving almost everyone in the dust. Economists call this the Celtic Tiger miracle. See, up until the late 1980s, Ireland was one of the poorest countries in Europe, suffering from mass unemployment. To fix this, the Irish government played a brilliant card against Uncle Sam. They cut their corporate tax rate to a ridiculously low 12.5%. This tempted American tech giants like Google, Apple, Facebook, and Microsoft to move their European headquarters to Dublin. Hundreds of billions of US dollars started flowing through Irish banks. While this makes Ireland look insanely wealthy on paper, it has sparked a massive debate about whether it's a real economy or just a massive corporate tax shelter. Then, we have the 2 heavyweights that almost never leave the top 5, Switzerland and Luxembourg. Switzerland's secret sauce has always been neutrality and discretion. During World Wars I and II, while the rest of the world was tearing itself apart, Switzerland stayed out of the fight and enacted the Banking Secrecy Act of 1934. This made it a criminal offense for Swiss banks to reveal who their clients were. Wealthy elites, dictators, and corporations from around the globe hid their money in Swiss vaults, turning the country into the world's private bank. Right next door, Luxembourg did something similar. When the steel industry collapsed in the 70s, they quickly pivoted to become a powerhouse for investment funds. Today, more than half of Luxembourg's workforce doesn't even live there. They commute daily from France, Germany, and Belgium, which inflates Luxembourg's GDP per capita to astronomical levels. So, what does this 30-year race tell us? It proves that having the biggest military or the most land doesn't make a country's citizens the richest on paper. It all comes down to strategic economic plays, whether that's erasing income taxes, unlocking natural resources, or becoming a magnet for American tech companies. This brings us to a fascinating question for us back home. With the United States sitting on a massive $30+ trillion national debt and our own middle class feeling the squeeze, do you think America will ever adopt these types of aggressive tax policies to climb up this list? Or is our massive size and population making that completely impossible? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world's wealth, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe for more economic breakdowns. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.